Welcome to the Good and Well Soul podcast. I'm Daishan.
And I'm Kim. Thank you for joining us on this journey to physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual wellness.
And today we are talking about friends. How many of us have them? Let's be friends.
How did I know you were going to do that?
Because I did it at first, but...
Oh, I feel like it was one of those things that was in my mind. Mm-hmm. I was like, I just know he's going to do this.
Yeah. I'm his. I did.
Friends.
Yep.
Why are we talking about friends?
Because sometimes it can be hard as grown folks, keeping friends, making friends.
Ooh, keeping friends. Yeah. That's good.
So yeah, I think looking at the space we're in life, I think a lot of people are beyond the point where they have started their careers and folks are leveling up. People are managers, supervisors, entrepreneurs, CEOs, all these different types of things. And with those levels up, however you say it, come moves and transitions and promotions and all those different types of things. So people change careers. People switch cities to start their family, or they switch cities to pursue a career and take their family. And so when you are good and grown, sometimes the folks that were your friends aren't your friends anymore, or you don't have folks around to be friends. I don't know. That's
real.
So
level up.
Yeah.
Level up. I just be moving jobs. I don't be leveling up. I just be baseline. Same. What do they call it? I be having lateral moves.
I just been staying at that. Well, I guess
no. You've leveled up. Like, I still have your pay. Well, I don't know if it was a pay stub or like it was like the letter that they give you when you first get the job, and it has like, congratulations, here's your salary. And I still have our first budget. Oh, thank you, Jesus, for the level up. I mean, and we ain't high by no means. Oh no, Mary. But you've leveled up. Like so. You have consistently with each job leveled up. I thank God for that, because I'm not leveling.
I'll be having to stay off LinkedIn though, because LinkedIn, man, folks are very positive on LinkedIn, and it's a great place if you would like to put your resume out there. I mean, the job that I was at before I came to this one, we really emphasized the importance of using LinkedIn to market yourself and present yourself, and it's social media, but it's not. And so with my job, we do Mo Learning, and Mo Learning is connected to LinkedIn. And so my LinkedIn account is linked to Mo Learning. And so I'll do classes on Mo Learning, and then I go to LinkedIn and be like, hey, this is a class I just did. And then it'll show me all the folks that are in my profile. And I'll be like, I was in school with you, and you doing a doggone thing.
But did they have the same degree as you?
No.
Yeah. See, you cannot, it's not apples to apples. Trust me. Social work major. Okay. All of my friends in the business school, I don't compare with them.
Yeah.
Look, congratulations. Keep me in your sphere of influence.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't worry, honey. You're doing a great job.
Well, I don't know what fruit I bought, but it was expensive.
Yeah, your fruit was. You had that Whole Foods organic fruit.
Organic dates.
Organic.
I don't even like dates.
You had that organic fruit. It was an expensive fruit. But anyway, student loans can be a whole nother podcast.
We're supposed to be talking about friends.
We're supposed to be talking about friends. So
I am reminded of the scripture.
Yes.
From the Bible. In there's a couple in Proverbs. One in Proverbs 17:17. It says, a friend loves at all times.
All times.
And a brother is born for adversity.
A brother.
So sometimes we looking for friends. We need friends that's gonna stick by us.
Yes.
We need them day ones. We need somebody that's gonna have your back. Somebody that's gonna ride with you. That's gonna roll with you. That's gonna go with you when it's time to throw on what you say, the Timbs and the sweats. Is that what y'all used to say?
Hey, I've had those days. I've thrown on the Timbs and the sweats. Yeah. You ain't gotta say nothing but a word.
But we need the friends that's with you when you're right, and he'll tell you when you're wrong.
Woo, that was a good one.
Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but an enemy multiplies kisses. That's another scripture. I don't remember. It's in the Proverbs. But the other one that stands out, this King James one, I realize it ain't the same, not in the King James, but it used to always be quoted to me growing up. But it says, a man that hath friends must show himself friendly. And there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. That's Proverbs 18:24. It says something totally different in the ESV. If you look it up, you're going to be like, what? But that King James version, when you growing up and you ain't got too many friends.
Our mothers love to quote that. You gotta show yourself friendly, King.
And I get it. You gotta throw the line out if you want to catch a fish. You can't catch fish if your line is sitting in the boat. You gotta
make yourself available.
If you are available. That's not about friendship.
I don't think that was friends with benefits. We're talking about regular friendships.
We're talking about regular friends. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you have friends, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do I have more friends than you or less friends than you?
You have more friends than me.
You always say that, but I feel like you just are a social butterfly.
That means nothing.
Honey. Let me see. I know I have friends. Absolutely, I have friends. I have a group of friends that I feel like we've been friends forever. Like one high school, one college, one junior high, one just growing up in church. So I guess that's like probably elementary, junior high-ish. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like I have a core group, if you will, of friends. Yeah. I have friends.
Yeah. I see, my friendship situation is awkward. I don't have friends that go back to high school.
Right.
All of my friends are friends from St. Louis or more recent.
Like more recent though, like early adulthood, like college age, or you mean like 30s?
Mid-20s.
Okay.
Early mid-20s to up to now. And so like, and I can't remember if we talked about this before, but there are guys who were in my wedding that I don't talk to anymore.
Wait, multiple?
One.
Yeah, one.
The other guys have moved or,
Right.
whatever the case may be. But then it's like some guys I'm like, man, that person should have been in the wedding,
Yes.
But it's like sometimes moving can change your circumstances with people. So I remember always hearing when I was at a certain church, they would say there's friends for a season, friends for a reason, and friends for a lifetime.
Friends for a season, reason, lifetime.
Yeah.
I want to categorize my friends now. I like that.
Yeah.
Friends for, reason?
Yeah, reason.
Season. Lifetime. I like that.
And sometimes when the season is up, especially, so sometimes when they're friends for a season, I feel like they may move away. And for some of my friends, even if they've moved, when we talk, it's like we never missed a beat.
Yeah.
We just pick right back up. And it's like, man, it's good to talk to you.
And it's like, I wish we were closer too, because we have so much in common, or we just enjoy each other's company, that if we were close, we know we would be hanging out on a regular basis. Yeah.
And I feel like friends for a reason, that might apply too. But I feel like somewhere in between the season and the reason, there's those folks, the friends that just flake on you. And I don't know what to do with that, but we're not
like people that were your friends and then they not your friends because you fell out, or like people that were your friends and then they stopped being intentional about maintaining the friendship.
Either or. Either they fell out with you fell out with them, or they...
I don't have a lot of flakers.
Really?
No, I don't. I'm trying to think. I don't really feel like I have flakers. Maybe. I just thought about a category that I feel like they might be flakers. They might be.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. So yeah. That's my thought on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So... You got some.
Do you?
Go ahead.
Do you feel like there's a difference between friends and associates? I feel like growing up, we used to always hear, "That's my associate. She not my friend. She just," you know what I'm saying?
Y'all used to say that. It was great.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. We used to say that. I used to say it.
That's hilarious.
That ain't that's an associate. They not my friend.
I
Like,
feel like I was an
yeah.
adult before I started saying that.
Oh, I had associates. They probably thought they were my friends. I was like,
Oh my
associate.
goodness.
You might see me in the streets.
Shit,
You don't know me.
that's funny. I feel like I have associates.
Mm.
And it's weird because it's like you can spend time with people but not develop genuine intimacy with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or even you can be around people for a long term, but there are certain things that prohibit you from growing. Like I think about coworkers. I feel like for me as a supervisor particularly, there's certain levels where I have to say, it stops here.
Well, yeah, because you're the boss.
Yeah.
Who wants to be friends with their boss?
No one.
No one. I certainly don't.
Yeah. But that's a whole different story that won't be told.
Oh, mercy.
But yeah, I feel like, and I think the thing, for me, in some levels, things that can separate associates from friends, I mean, I feel like the elephant in the room is lifestyle.
Yes.
When I have certain core values that don't align with your core values, it's like we can hang out, we can talk, we can chat to a certain extent, but after a while, it's like, we got to part ways.
Yeah.
And I think that's hard because it's like, yeah, we don't want to be in an echo chamber, but I feel like it's hard to go deep with somebody you clashing heads with all the time. And I don't even know if you should, just because I feel like it's a waste of your energy.
Well, I saw a quote by C.S. Lewis, and he said, what draws people to be friends is that they see the same truth, they share it. And I think that resonates with what you're saying about when you have a friend, oftentimes, in order to let that be a lasting friendship, ongoing friendship, there are certain non-negotiables or certain lifestyle choices that need to be compatible, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not talking about silly stuff like, oh, you like R&B and I like, 90s rap. You know what I'm saying? Just some things you need to see eye to eye on, I think.
Yeah.
Because to me, I feel like friendships are like relationships, or relationships are like friendships. There are certain things that if we did not see eye to eye on, we would not be married. There are some things that are just peripheral, that it's like, okay, yeah, we got different opinions, and it may be a major thing, but it's not a deal breaker. So,
but some people are different like that. Like some people will date people, marry people that they
that's true.
have varying levels of core values.
Yeah, so I don't know how they do that.
I don't either.
I can't.
That's interesting.
I can't speak to that. Yeah. For me, I feel like our core values have to line up. Like, I cannot be friends with someone who doesn't value honesty. That's a core value. You don't value loyalty. I'm loyal. I just said, like, the people that I consider friends, we've been friends for a minute. I'm loyal. Like, you call me, you need me, throw on the sweats and the Timbs, I got you. You don't have to give me much detail.
That's hilarious.
I'm rolling up. Who we ride? No, I was playing. Kind of. But I feel like, and if you don't value loyalty, if you're one of those people that, you're with whatever group and you're saying, well, we're not going to be friends.
Yeah.
So.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
What do you look for in a friend? Because I feel like as a kid, it was like, ooh, we're in the same grade. We're friends. I mean, Joseph has about 8 best friends. He just told me he named his best friends. I'm like, boy, you are really doing the doggone thing. Got all these best friends. So as a child, it's much easier for you to make friends. Oh, we both like purple. We're best friends. We both wore the same outfit. Like, we're best friends.
We both like Paw Patrol.
We like dinosaurs. Okay, cool. You automatically connect. But as an adult, either keeping your friends or making friends, because I think there can come a point in time where friendships that you've had as a child, it's like, okay, am I going to keep this friend or are we going to separate?
Yeah.
Or is life taking us in different directions? Or does this person really have what I truly look for in a friend? And I'm willing to do the work to make this friendship work. So what do you look for in friends?
I think for me, I feel like faith is probably one of the biggest things. Somebody that believes in Jesus, like I believe in Jesus, more or less. You know, church stuff. Church folks, y'all know there can be different iterations of Christianity and all that stuff. So, you know, believe in Jesus. I think that's one of the
As the
biggest
scripture
things.
hath saith.
Yes. That's one of the biggest things. And I think, honestly, one thing that makes it convenient, I'm finding, is in similar phases of life. Because one thing I learned is sometimes single folks, they act like you got the plague when you got kids, when you married. They're like, man, cuz you can't do nothing. And maybe it's true, you know, because I remember before we had Joe, we could just get up and go as we wanted to. And, you know, when you're single, you definitely can get up and go when you want to. So, I don't know. Sometimes when you have other things to worry about there, you have to find people that have kids of the same age so you can let your kids play together while y'all sit back and talk and eat and all that type of stuff, you know.
Well, I think that helps too because you want someone that can, I don't want to say the word caring, it's a different word. Empathize, or they know where you're coming from. You know, because it's kind of frustrating when it's like, well, I didn't invite you because, or, you know, those types of situations are always happening. So when you have a friend that's in the similar lifestyle, life area, whatever it's called, it helps them to understand, like, I ain't got a sitter. Okay, cool. They're not dissing me personally. They don't have a sitter. Like, whatever, you know, that kind of thing. You mentioned faith. So I feel like that is one thing as I'm getting older, I am really desiring. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this, because making friends as an adult. So like all the friends I have, most of the friends I have, I would say, no, all the friends I have, I would say we have been friends for probably 20 years. Or close to 20 years at this point. What's this, 2021? Oh my gosh. We've been friends about 20 years. So we have a lot of shared experiences, a lot of things that bond us together as friends. In some of those friendships, I think one of the things that I struggle with is not being on the same page as it relates to spiritual matters. Not necessarily like, oh, you don't believe in Jesus or that, but just when you are in a certain space in your faith and you want to grow, or you just want someone to talk to about the word, and your friends are not necessarily as open, or, you know, when you bring up something in the Bible, they're just kind of like, oh, here she go. You know, it's like sometimes you get that feeling like they're like, oh, here Kim being church girl again. You know, and I don't like that feeling. I want, and I said at the beginning of this year, I said one of the things I'm praying for is faith-based friendships, so that I can have those relationships where we're talking about what we've been studying in the Word, and we're talking about where we're trying to go and how we're trying to grow, but it's grounded in God's Word and not necessarily grounded in the latest how-to practice or self-help or therapeutic practice, which is fine, but where is God in that? And I think when I noticed when you and I first started dating, one of the things I really admired about you is that your friends were very faith-based. You know, I remember you said, don't say names. I remember hanging out with a particular couple of yours. And I remember one day y'all were like, let's just do Bible study. Now, granted, in the moment, I was like, this is super weird and awkward. Like, literally, we're hanging out, watching TV. And the next minute, they were like, let's crack open the word. He was a little bit heady and, you know, super holy. But also though, we did, and it was really cool.
Yeah, that was just their culture though.
And I was not, that's not, like, I'm super churchy, church background, but in all of that churching, I've never experienced somebody at the house kicking in and being like, so what is God teaching you in Ephesians lately? Let me show you what the Lord has revealed to me. But it was done in a way that, while it seemed to me awkward, it also felt authentic. I just wasn't used to it. And I admired that.
I've always wanted to be like that.
Yeah, I've admired that. Like, just that look, let's just read God's word. And I mean, it wasn't like some weird thing where we talked about scripture for hours on end. Like we read some passages, we discussed it, we talked about it, we talked about our lives. Like it just felt really good to be able to share that with someone who is your friend and not feel like the only time I can get this type of spiritual challenging and conversation is when I go to church and I talk to the people in my small group or the people in my Bible study or whatever. But then those same people aren't the people I hang out with at the movies, or those same people aren't the people I invite to the house for a kickback. You know?
Yeah. Should we define kickback? I feel like that term.
No, I don't think we need to define kickback.
Oh, okay. I feel like that term can mean different things, and I feel like that can be one of those things that can.
You feel like I threw people off when I said kickback?
No, I'm just saying. I feel like different people define kickback differently, and I feel like sometimes one friend might invite you to a kickback, and you like, okay, what we finna do? And then you like, oh, that's what we doing. Okay, I don't know if I signed up for all that.
Oh, well, I think people know what variations of kickback there are.
Yeah, yeah. But I definitely agree with you though in terms of just seeing faith as very valuable in friendships. People that can challenge you and encourage you. And
Yes,
everything like
encourage you. Because see, when you have a friend and that friend is someone who is trying to grow in their faith and in their walk, not perfect. Not saying you have to be best friends with the pastor. Not that the pastor is perfect, but you know what I'm saying. I feel like when you're going through something, those levels of encouragement come different. Like going through grief, going through loss, going through situations. When you have a friend that's grounded in the faith, yeah, they might, hear you complain or whatever the case may be. You can vent, you can do whatever. But at the end of the day, it's going back to, okay, how can we glorify God in this? Or, this scripture encouraged me. Let me tell you what I read. Or, it's something substantial and not just we were on the phone for 2 hours, kikiing and cackalaking. And at the end of the day, I still feel empty. I still feel like I don't have anything to ground me in this situation that I'm going through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like I wonder sometimes how that level of depth is built in friendships, because I feel like sometimes when different things in life happen, we can go through things and feel like the people that we hoped would be there for us or would be walking with us through those things didn't respond or didn't know how to respond or kind of left us feeling like we were alone or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe that's a whole nother thing to address, a whole nother can of worms.
How do you build that level of intimacy or level of what? Say the question again.
That level of depth.
That level of depth with a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think back to stuff that I had friends go through, and it wasn't until it happened on our end that I was like, oh, this is what they were going through. And there was even times where I circled back and I was like, hey, when this happened for you, like, I felt like I wasn't there for you. Like, how did you feel? Like, what were you going through? And sometimes some of them were just like, it, I was okay. So maybe just different people experience things differently. So
yeah,
maybe that's part of just communicating as a friend, saying, hey, this is where I am.
Yes,
This is what I need.
Yeah, I think being honest and being able to say to your friends, this is what I need and this is how I'm asking you to show up in my life. And if you're just talking about the mom that you met in the carpool line, you're not going to be at that level of depth. But when you really have a relationship with someone, I think it's appropriate to say, this is what I need. Like, can you help me with, or can you listen to me talk about? I mean, I've had a friend that I could think about. I was like, no, we finna go out and this is what I need to talk about. And I need you to listen. We cannot make jokes today. Like, I can't joke because I'm hurting and I need you to hear me about this issue. And they were like, okay. And we went out and they heard me, and it wasn't like a conflict between us. It was just what I was going through in life. And they heard me and I cried and we got it. Like they listened and they heard me. And that's what I needed. I needed in that moment not to have the friendship of we're joking and playing all the time, but that friendship of like, I trust you with some stuff that I'm dealing with and I need to be able to lay it all out. And I need somebody to hear me without judging me. But just hear me and hear the hurt that I'm going through. But I had to communicate that. I had to be very honest with that friend and say, look, like, I really need you.
And I think that's hard.
Yes, because before that, what I wanted to do was I haven't talked to so-and-so. So they haven't called me. So I'm done. And not like I'm done forever, but like, I'm not finna keep trying to put myself out there, or that maybe they're just moving on with their life. So just forget it. You know, you get in your own little feelings. But like, I had to be like, you know what? I know this person loves me. I know this person cares. If I'm honest and say, hey, I really need you to, like, I need a friend right now. How will they respond? And 100% that person was like, okay, let's get together.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think the difficult thing, if I can give an analogy, I feel like friendship is two lives. And so in terms of your life is both of you are in the sea or on a roller coaster, whichever you like to choose. And so you got your ups and your downs, but your ups and downs don't coincide with their ups and downs. And so if I'm down in the valley and they're up on the peak, it's like, oh man, how do I tell them I'm down in the valley and I want somebody to be down here with me, but I don't want you to have to come down from your peak. In the midst of all that. I think that's hard.
Very hard.
Because some people know how to, I think, receive it and be with you in that moment and go back to living their life. And some people just like, man, whatever.
I can't do this. I'm gonna do my thing because I can't go from up here to down here with them right now. I can't be the friend they need me to be. Honestly, that's what it boils down to.
You're killing my vibe.
Yes. But I feel like that's part of like, honestly, I feel like if you can't do that, then you're not a good friend. At the end of the day. And I think sometimes we just need to call it out and be like, you know what? At this point in my life, I was not being a good friend to you. I need to learn how to be a better friend. I struggle with communication. Whatever the case may be. So as an adult, trying to navigate different lifestyles. I like how you said it's two different lives. And then often you got to think about, especially if a person is married, it's not just two different lives really, because it's like your life, your husband, your children, their life, their husband, their children, or wife, or what, you know what I'm saying? It's like all of that. So how do you navigate friendships with all the adult schedules that we have? Because we have all the things on our schedule already. Well, there are times I text somebody and I'm like, it's August. What do you think about late October? Can we get together before Thanksgiving? And I was like, that's being real.
Yeah. Shoes, I think sometimes I'll just be throwing a dart at a moving target. Hey, what you doing?
Yeah.
You busy? Okay. All right. Cool. Maybe next time.
Yeah, you're good about that though. Like just randomly calling people, and I don't do that as well.
But you're good at planning.
This is true.
Stuff out in advance, and I don't do that as well.
Yeah. So how do you navigate? So you say you feel like you pretty much just, when you're available, give it a shot. Hey, because sometimes I'll see you and you'll be on the phone having a deep conversation. And so I'm like, who are you talking to? You're like, I was talking to so-and-so. I'm like, man, that was a...
Sometimes random phone calls.
Yeah, you're like, I just decided to check on such and such. I'd be like, I should check on somebody. Okay. I think having a group chat works for me with my friends. Like, I have intentionally, like sometimes I'll come across something on social media and I'll just throw it in the group chat with like an emoji or something just to keep us connected and just to keep us like those touch points. Or, sometimes I'll text and say, hey, how's work? Or what you doing? And in the past, I may not have valued those text messages. Honestly, I think in the past I didn't, and I felt like they were kind of superficial. But now, thinking about our lives and our schedules, I'm like, no. Like, if I can just text and we could end up having a for real text conversation, that was a meaningful interaction.
Yeah.
We got kids that's crying. We got jobs, dinner that we're trying to make. Like, look, get in how you fit in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for me, mine tend to be individual texts. I don't have group chats with friends.
Well, it's only a couple of us. It's not much.
Yeah. I got a group chat with associates, but besides that, it's been group chats with family members. So yeah, it'd be one off, like individuals having whole conversations in text messages and being like, man, we need to keep this going. We need to get together. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't.
Well, I think you're more open about making friends too, though. Like, you were just telling me that you got together with one guy, and I was like, so what made you, like, randomly, you're like, yeah, I'm having lunch with so-and-so. I'm like, what made you meet up with them for lunch? And you were like, I think you said you were looking at people who, what did you say? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Do you remember who I'm talking about? What did you say the reason that made you connect with this person?
Generally, I was looking for other people who were in the same phase of life, season of life, similar circumstances, and similar age, and could relate to me, could build camaraderie with me. So
yeah,
that's one reason why I reached out to this guy in particular.
I think that's commendable. I don't typically do that. The funny thing is, I have a short list of people that I'm like, I want to be her friend. Sounds so cheesy. But I feel like for me, see, like you just reached out, right? I feel like for me, I know these people. As in, they're not just random people that I have never met. Like, I actually know these people. But I feel like they already have friendship circles. And so it's like, for me, like, I'm like, okay, how do you tap into a friendship with an individual? And I mean, of course, they have to be open and willing. But how do you tap into a friendship with an individual when it seems like they already have a tight circle? It's like, at this point, is it too late? Like, is it too late? Because if you try to come in between me, can I just say the name? It's hard. I don't know how to, me and two of my college roommates, we're a tight-knit group. So there have been some people that have tried. Yeah. And it's like, no, what are you doing here?
Yeah. And
I don't want to do that to somebody else, but it's like, I also see you as a person that we have a lot in common. We are women of the Lord, like we're sisters in Christ, and I would just love to be your friend, like, honestly. But I don't know how to tap in.
I mean, I feel like some people, maybe it might be just a one-off lunch, and it may not be a depth of friendship that you have with some of your other friends, but for some people, I realize everybody doesn't have their people yet.
These people have people, I think.
Oh, well, maybe it's different for women. And
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I feel like for women, just friendship can be different, period. But I think guys, we can isolate ourselves more.
Really?
I think so.
Well, I can't remember what movie I was watching, but I remember there was some movie and the ladies were like old. And then they were talking about, we've been best friends for 30 years. And I was like, that means y'all became friends at 50. Like, it was just one of those things where when I thought about it, I was like, wow, like you all didn't even meet until you were like, our kids are in college, or our kids are in high school, or whatever. My kids gonna be in high school at 50, I think. So, I think that gave me hope. Like, you can still meet friends as an adult and cultivate a depth of relationship that may rival some of your childhood friends. Because I think that's the issue for me. See, I'm not good with one-off. I'm an introvert, so I tend to go deep versus going wide. So I don't really want a large group of friends or like people that are for certain segments of life. I'd rather just have like a handful and like we just have a legit, real connection and like really your friends.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think to go deep, you got to start somewhere.
this is true.
And I don't know.
Well, that brings me to this list I found on the internet. I don't remember the website, so I'm not going to give them credit. But this information was super basic. Like, I feel like I've heard it from multiple sources, so they'll be all right. It was talking about how do you make friends as an adult. And one of the things it said was accept invitations. And I was like, ooh.
That's real.
That's real.
Because folks, they will take you off the list real quick if you reject a couple invitations. They're like, man, she ain't coming. He ain't coming. Why even invite him?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, accepting invitation. And I think I get stuck there. Because I don't necessarily, I'm that who all gonna be there person. You invite me, I need to see the list. Don't have the list be private. I'm not coming. I don't know these people. Who coming? Who all gonna be there? I need to know.
Sometimes I feel like I don't want to miss that window.
See,
You only got like 2 times to turn down the invitation before people cut you off.
I just be cut off. Cause I get nervous. Like, you know how Joey would say, I'm shy. I get uncomfortable in those social interactions, especially if I don't know anybody or if it's weirdos. I don't want to go.
Weirdos? What?
Some people be weird, and some people be having weird friends, but they've been a friend forever, so they just allow that person to be weird. But it's like, I don't want to be new friends with weirdos. Like, it's one thing if that was your childhood friend, you know they weird, you working with them, you praying with them, that's on you. I'm not signing up for new friends with weirdos.
I have a high tolerance for weirdness. So.
You do. I do not. I cannot. You do a couple of things, I'm like, I can't.
That's a shame.
I cannot. Yeah. So accepting invitations. Which after this podcast, people are gonna be like, we're not inviting her nowhere.
Invite me.
Invite Dashawn. I'm gonna tag along.
I'm leaving you.
You probably will. That's okay. All right. What else? Be open. So I think be open to weirdos.
Be open to whoever people are.
Yeah.
Everybody needs love.
Yeah, but I'm just not interested in being friends with weirdos right now.
Oh my Lord. Weird is relative.
No, I'm too old for this. I don't have time for some stuff though.
I guess.
But you do need to be open. I think it is important to be open to friendships that may come from an unlikely source. Like, and I'm gonna just say this. There is a lady that I say is my friend. She's an older white woman. And I count her as a friend. Like, she's legit my friend. You know who I'm talking about?
I'm guessing I know.
Oh. She's my friend. And I remember I was talking to my mom and I was like, so-and-so is my friend. She's like your age, or she's maybe even older. She was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, no, really, she's my friend. And I feel like that's an unlikely source. But honestly, we have a ton of things in common. I highly respect her. And I feel like we kind of clicked from the first moment that I met her. And she's been very intentional about keeping up with me in life. Now, granted, we're not hanging out all the time, but we're having those one-off coffees or one-off, hey, text, how are you doing? Or, those types of things. And honestly, I think if I were to even be more intentional on my end, because we're in totally different life spaces, if I were to be more intentional on my end, I could see us being engaged with one another on a more regular basis. I mean, she even just said to me the last time I saw her that she wanted to invite us over for dinner.
Oh, let's go.
See, look at you. And I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. So maybe I'll text her and be like, hey, when y'all having us over?
I could eat.
Yeah. And I mean, so I think that's being open, because who would have thought I'd have been friends with like a 60-plus-year-old white woman? You know what I'm saying? But I genuinely feel like that's a friend.
That's what's up.
So.
I feel like part of me coming up and not being a cool kid, I feel like I had a mindset of like, I might just click with people just because and not need to worry about some of the weirdness or whatever, just because I feel like I was probably weird. I probably am weird to some people, so I'm like, whatever. Sometimes I enjoy being weird.
Yeah, but I just, like, let me just set the record straight. When I say weird, I'm not talking about your kind of quirkiness. I'm not talking about quirky weird. That, to me, I don't, I would never push somebody aside for just being kind of quirky. I'm talking about that kind of weird where really they just ignorant. I don't have time for that.
Like criminal record weird?
No, I don't care if you have a criminal record. I mean, like...
Active criminal record?
I don't care if you're an active criminal. I just...
What?
I'm talking about, like, you're rude to people.
Oh.
You the kind of person that pop off real quick, smart at the mouth, but really you wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about those kind of people. I don't want to be friends with you.
That's just trash people.
I mean, so that's what I meant by, like, weirdos. Like, and sometimes people have those people in their friend circles.
And don't nobody say nothing to them.
And don't nobody say nothing to them. And then I'm looking at you side eye and I'm like, how can I really be friends with you? Because you're friends with that person and that person is weird. They're off. And you tolerate it. So are you like a low-key trash person too? But I really don't think you are. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be friends with those people. Because I'm going to say something. You know me.
You are.
I'm going to say something. Then we ain't gonna be able to be friends because I went off on your friend.
Yeah. Yep. So, friends based on hobbies.
You do good at that too. You're just really good at, being with people.
Yeah, I guess I had my racquetball friends back
You
in the
did,
day.
yeah.
And now I'm a running
You
friend.
got your track, your running friend, yeah.
Yeah. But
You got your preacher friends.
preacher friends, yeah. But it's all, I feel like a lot of those are association because it's like when it came beyond that hobby or that... It's like, okay, are we really gonna hang out? And sometimes I even ask myself, am I going to? I don't know. Are we just gonna meet up just to do that activity? So.
But see, I think that's where sometimes as an adult you have to accept that might be the level of friendship you have.
Yeah.
Because I have some, like, again, my group of friends. If I was like, let's go camping, they looking at me like, girl, we not you.
And that's my problem with folks. I be wanting folks that's ready to be adventurous.
Let's go do some stuff.
I want somebody that's going to go rafting with me, that's going to go hiking with me, that's going to run some miles with me, What else?
Sometimes your friends, the people that you do life with on a regular basis, are not open to those experiences.
Somebody that's going to ride a horse with me.
So you need to join one of those meetups. People that want to go riding horses.
I'm gonna join Black Cowboys.
What? What's that?
I don't know.
Okay. Have to talk about that further. Another way to make friends is to volunteer.
Yeah.
Volunteer working there. And I think that's good because you can meet people that share those same values as well. People that are philanthropic and that really want to give back, if you will, or just care about people. Sometimes I feel like it ain't all about giving back. It's just like, I just genuinely care about this cause or this person or this group and I want to do something, Yep.
Join a club, which you're already in your club.
Yeah, but I feel like even that is kind of hard sometimes because being a part of an organization... Not no club. But being a part of an organization, sometimes it's like you do the work of the organization, but then sometimes you don't always do the hanging out part. And there are some people that just want to hang out and don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
But that is a way to get to know and meet new people. And I feel like I have met a ton of really wonderful women by being a part of this organization. And if I were to think about, like, who are some people that I might be able to build? Am I boring you?
No.
Look at you.
I had some stuff going on with my nose. I thought I was going to sneeze.
Oh, mercy. I think about if I were to make like a short list of some people that I would want to, spend more time with, definitely some of them came through the same organization. I think for right now, honestly, I've just been sticking to my crew because of grief more than desire, if that like I love to be with them, but I feel like there are other people that I would like to develop relationships with, but because of being in a season of just losing individuals in my life, I don't really have the bandwidth or the emotional availability to do so. So yeah, that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, and I feel like I just don't have the bandwidth for clubs, so there's that. Meeting up, networking events. You ever been to one of those?
When I lived in Virginia, I did do a couple of those meetups. Those were really cool. I like that because it was focused on like an interest. So it kind of reminded me of like we're gonna do a meetup and we're gonna go hiking in this area. That it was kind of that kind of thing. I wasn't into hiking back then. I don't know what the meetup was. It may have been like young Black people in Virginia. Like I don't know what it was back then. But I did do a couple of meetups. I do not like networking events because I hate small talk. So it is always a struggle for me to go to those, and I try to get out of them at any cost.
Yeah. Well, there was a meetup that I just got invited to.
Really?
From the running group. All the folks were doing a holiday biking event. And so, but my bike situation is still...
I was wondering.
It's struggle bus. And then I was just like, I got other things going on.
You didn't want to ride my bike?
You think I was about to ask you about riding your bike?
I would have been like, no.
Right, so I wasn't going to ask.
Yeah, thank you for not asking.
I just had to get somebody professional. I think the tires I got from Walmart just were... Target, yeah. I think they just... Either they didn't do it right or I didn't do it right. Somebody didn't do something right. But I'm going to have to go get a professional to look at it or just buy me a bike when the panorama is over.
So do you think you would do a meetup or something like that in the future, though? Like if somebody was on a meetup?
Yeah,
you would
like they were saying, we're going to go biking, hiking, paragliding.
Yeah. Well, I'm in a few Black hiking groups on Facebook. I love those groups. And they do a lot of meetups. And I would love to, but most of them, like in Washington, apparently is popping. Like out west, they do a lot of meeting up, and the scenery is beautiful. I feel like in St. Louis, there's a St. Louis group that I'm a part of. It doesn't seem like it's as active, like as far as like, hey, let's get together. And then I feel like being in a pandemic, I've been really leery about getting together anyway. But I think I will be open to that, like getting together. I used to not be open. I used to not be like, I want to run with people or I want to do stuff. But this season of my life, I'm more open to it.
Yeah. Are you talking about Washington, Missouri, Washington, D.C., or Washington the State?
Washington the State. West. Because I said West.
At first,
so
because Washington,
DC
Missouri, I
is
think is
east.
West. So then I started cycling through my brain. I'm like, Washington, Missouri, yeah, it probably is more scenic there. And I was like, wait a minute, she's probably not talking about Washington, Missouri.
No, babe. Like Seattle, Washington area.
I definitely want to go there one day and go on a hike.
Me too.
Yeah.
Joining a gym or sports team. That was another idea they had about how to meet new people.
Supposed to be kickballing it up.
Kickball and like I see people doing softball. Yeah. That's something. See, this stuff, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm not joining a team.
I don't have time for it.
But I feel like you would be so good, and I would love watching you play. I can go to games.
Yeah.
And maybe I can meet people if I'm at the game. And I can talk to other people at the game. So you need to join and go play.
Yeah. We'll see. JoJo joined the sports again.
And you know what? Our son did just join a sports team. And I probably will be friends with other moms and dads that are, bringing their kids.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. This one is funny.
Connect with coworkers?
Connecting with coworkers.
Go for it.
I'm not connecting with coworkers.
Why?
I feel like everything on this list, I'm like, I'm not doing that. Okay.
You're in a different space.
Let me, okay. So I feel like when I was thinking about taking a job and I was talking to my therapist, she was saying that she felt like the employment might be good for me because it would give me a greater scope of people to interact with. And I agreed. But then when I met the scope, I was like, this might not have been the scope she was referring to. I feel like my last 2 jobs, I had some great coworkers. So before those 2 jobs, I never hung out with coworkers. And I remember my one friend, she always, I'm going to happy hour. I'm like, I don't know why you hanging out with them people. But that would be, what she would do. And I was like, no, no, no. When I worked at the first school I worked at, well, technically the second, but my first teaching job, had a couple of awesome coworkers. Great people, still friends with at least one of them. We text on a semi-regular, basis. My next school, awesome people that I work with. I feel like we didn't necessarily take any friendships outside of school. And I feel like there were some cultural barriers that really prevented us from digging deeper. But I feel like they were barriers that were
Navigable.
yes. Yes. So there's that. And then now I'm at this school and beep boop beep boop.
Wow.
I just don't see the coworker connection being a thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
I tried to be open to it, but then when I got up in there, I was like, no, this ain't gonna work.
Oh. Who knows? There might be some folks that surprise you.
They're not gonna surprise me.
I like this one. Reach out to neighbors. I think it's time. We've been here almost a year.
We have been here almost a year. Who you gonna reach out to?
People on each side of us.
Yeah.
Yep. Start there.
Yeah. Is this weird? So our subdivision has a Facebook group. So when we moved here, we joined the Facebook group for the subdivision. And usually they post stuff like, oh, there's a bobcat around, like be careful. Or, is anyone missing a dog? Or, this is what's going on in the community. Here's a meeting if you want to go to it. Stuff like that. So what I did was, this might be creepy. I went on the list of 130 some people in this list, and then I looked for the black people.
Oh my Lord.
I looked for the black people that were on the list, and then I clicked on their names to see what kind of things they posted in the group. And then a couple of them, I was like, okay, they seem cool. So then I looked at their profiles, and then I was like, okay, I worked up the courage, and I actually friended them on Facebook.
Okay.
And then in my mind, I intended to be like, hey, we're new to the area, and I saw that you live in this subdivision. Just wanted to introduce myself. But then I felt weird because I was like, oh, I didn't friend these people on Facebook, and I didn't done all this back research. Like, am I weird? And then I never sent the inbox.
God bless you.
I know. I think I overthought it. But even now, I'm like, is that weird? Do you all think that's weird? Am I doing too much?
You know what? And I see some of the folks coming through the neighborhood, but I guess knowing that our house is a bus stop now, I've talked the first time I realized it. Talked to one of the ladies who pulls up and
School bus
how
stop.
you doing? Yeah, school bus stop. And didn't realize it was a bus stop. So at first I'm like, somebody's lurking in front of our house.
Yeah,
What's
it was
going on there?
creepy at first.
But then now coming back around to another school year, it's like, oh, they're here to drop their kids off or to pick their kids up, and it's kind of cool. So one time I was walking out to my car to go to work, and a lady bumping Fred Hammond. I'm like, okay,
Oh, snap.
I see you praising. Go ahead.
That might be who I friended on Facebook.
Reach out
So
to
should I send a message and be like, hey, I saw that you all were in the Facebook group. We're new to the area, moved in last fall, wanting to just introduce ourselves and whatever. So I should do it.
Or just walk up to the car and just be
No,
like, hey.
well, I don't know
up?
if it's them. I'm talking about the people that I messaged on, like the people that I made Facebook friends with. I'm saying, should I take that step?
I don't know. I don't even know what Facebook etiquette is these days.
Okay, Dashawn doesn't know. You all let me know. So, should I message these people and say hi and introduce myself? Is that awkward and weird, or should I just be their friends? on Facebook now. I mean, I don't even lurk them. I don't even like lurk them at all. I don't even remember their names. Like I would have to go back through the group to see who I'm friends with in the group to even figure out who these people are at this point. But tell me what you think I should do. And then I'm going to do it. If you say I should do it, I'll do it. I'll do it. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll come back and say we have friends.
All right.
Okay.
That's it. Try new things.
Try new things.
So what they tell you to do or what I tell you to do.
This is true. And I had a friend like push a relatively newish friend push back on me about like not being willing to try new things. You know, she was kind of like, I mean, you know, we talked about doing XYZ and you immediately shot it down. And I was like, you right. I did. It was because of some insecurities that I had. Like, no, for real. It was something that they wanted us to do, but I had some legit insecurities about it. And I didn't feel, I guess I wasn't open enough to just be honest and share what those insecurities were. But she was right. I did. I didn't want to necessarily do it. So I think being open to trying new things can, because I'm sitting here saying, oh, well, nobody wants to go hiking with me or camping with me or going for a walk, you know, in the park with me. And then they're like, well, you don't want to go blah, 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 blah. So, you know.
You know what I told Joey recently?
Mercy. What?
I said, he says, no one wants to play tag with me. I said, well, you know, son, maybe you go and ask people what game they're playing, and if you can play whatever game they're playing, and maybe once you play their game, then they'll be open to playing tag with you.
Yes.
And he had a hard time receiving that.
Yeah, that's good for kindergarten, and that works.
That's good for kindergarten?
Yeah, it is good for kindergarten. 'Cause I mean, I feel like at his age, you're still learning what you like and what you don't like. I felt like at my age, the thing that they were talking about doing was something that I already know I have insecurities around for all of these different reasons. And so, yes, I might be able to bust through that and try something new. But I might also need to process that with somebody first and actually like say, hey, this is why I'm nervous to do it. Can we talk about it? And then try it. And it's not as easy as like, okay, let me just go do the thing, you know.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, those are the insights we have about friendship. If you have any insights that you would like to share, feel free to throw them down in the comments.
Or if you want to be our friends, we're open.
Yeah, we may have missed something though. So we're not experts on friendship.
No.
So help us out. Help us out. For real. But that being said, a good and well soul, our prayer is that all may go well with you and you may be in good health as it goes well with your soul. See y'all next time.
See ya.
All right, folks. Welcome to the Good and Well Soul podcast. What?
Oh, you supposed to do that part?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't practice my part.
You did.
I did?
Yeah.
I don't know it no more.